Missions. Hayes in the ruck. Wobbles it inside 50, but straight to El-Hawli, who can rebound for the Ants. Johnson and Campbell. Campbell with strength, but Velasaris is there to gather. 43 touches last week for JL, and he's going to get another one here.
Down in the contest. Dow, quick kick forward. Dangerous though, 3-on-1. El-Hawli couldn't quite reel it in.
The kick-in's turned over. Williams, in fact, I should say Johnson takes the mark. El-Hawli drives it into attack. Jorgensen the target.
Out of wing, Josh Docking takes the mark. It looks short. Hasty, who started well, plays on. El-Hawli closed, and it affected the kick. He'll get it back again. Chipped short to King.
At the moment, through traffic, and wide for El-Hawli. One of their designated kickers. This time goes by hand. Brown, tightrope in the boundary line. El-Hawli spills free in the end. Barry it was getting the handball away.
Out wide. King ran past it. El-Hawli, but King was upended. Advantage paid. Elliott on the outer side. Kick though going to Franks. It was just tripped. Franks to El-Hawli. El-Hawli by hand to Gardner. It stayed low. Lowe's kick wasn't great at all. El-Hawli now can pounce. Got out of the Ryan tackle. Hayes though, look out.
El-Hawli, 31 touches for him last week. And that's a well-weighted ball for Chubb. Schoenmaker misread it. Go. Kicks in the Vesely direction. El-Hawli able to mark. Hayes did well just to body Vesely out of it.
Back in the middle. Elliott and Campbell. Campbell rose and knocked it down. El-Hawli attacked it hard. Hand pass to Fuckstock, struggling at the moment for the Bull Ants. Fairly. Hand pass out to El-Hawli, who had some room to move. Takes a couple of bounces. Then cuts the kick inboard. Hayes. Velasaris was good in the contest. El-Hawli, Franks, Velasaris again.
Set upon. Fairly laying the tackle on Patton. Had a long time to get rid of it. El-Hawli creates the contest. Put his head down. And then a couple of zebras got him. Links up with Mantis. El-Hawli wanted it long. And he marks in front of McLennan.
Just in there was McKenzie. Down towards the middle of the ground. Chubb, volleyball style, over the top towards El-Hawli.
Gets to Ryan. One-on-one, Lowe and Wallace. The latter did well. Had El-Hawli in support. And that's a slicing inboard kick to ground. Keeler's got to be good here. Wasn't clean. And now a chance for the Ants. El-Hawli hit the belly of the ball and couldn't hook it back.
Comes back on his line. Hasty to man the mark. El-Hawli plays on. Kills that one back inside 50.
As he got rid of it, so it's coming back to Velasaris on the forward side of the wing. He'll chip it short to El-Hawli.
He was just able to spread from the contest too easily for mine there, Velasaris. So Cam Wild got to have a defensive mindset there.
It was a beautiful kick, but it bounced off the chest of Jorgensen. Watson.
Garrett Crosby.
Rankin drives it to the outer side. El-Hawli brings the footy to ground. Flicks the hand pass up. Besler from the AFL, Zach Masako and Mitch O'Neill. Brad Kellett and Jun Yip Wong are waving the flags today.
Watched him have a 46 possession game in the first game of the year against North Melbourne.
Oh, El-Hawli. He was about 7th in line for that. Thought about giving the hand pass off to Velasaris. Now he just chips it up towards half forward, and Goodman on the long lead takes the mark.
Third mark for the youngster, Will Elliott.
Switch on to El-Hawli. Wrapping around Gardner.
A behind or a boundary throw in. He's got his confidence up though after taking 3 early marks.
El-Hawli finds Zach Hart in the back pocket. Got the hand pass away. Josh Green under the pump, gone. Threw it away. Umpire didn't see that. El-Hawli tumbles a kick outside defence. Might hang on to the mark fairly. Fed it back. Now the Ants can come away through El-Hawli. Brings it into the middle of the ground. Who's he got to give it to? Nobody. So he has to go backwards to King. El-Hawli changes his mind. Sees that Port have shut the switch down. Bites off the 45 beautifully to Fairley. Fairley's able to trap it. Fed it to King. Back to El-Hawli. Round the corner he goes, looking for Elliott. Nice grab, Will Elliott. He stuck Elliott with the free kick. Draws the man and gave it off to El-Hawli. He goes inside 50. Jorgensen! Chance now for Stubbings. Dragged down in a good tackle by Wallace, who's back on the ground. Great to see. El-Hawli, Fairley, underground handball.
At the stoppages around the ground, he can be used and he can get high possession numbers as well. He's already up to 8 possessions.
Side defensive 50. He'll give it all the way back to El-Hawli. And the switch is on again for the Ants. Rameliotis fed it through to Franks. Put it on the outside of the boot for El-Hawli. Just defensive side of the wing. King just caresses it through to El-Hawli, who gave it back, but then got pushed over, I think. The free kick will come back to Saad El-Hawli on the half-back flank.
16 free kicks to 3, Brendan. So
interesting numbers, isn't it? Getting through a couple of tackles there was Tome. High ball towards half forward. El-Hawli can break out the back, got a poor bounce, then got bumped off the footy by Rossman. The last little bit, hasn't he, Will Wallace? Kick was smothered off the boot there of Josh Green. Big cry for holding the ball is answered. Saad El-Hawli. Onto the right boot, spearing kick. Through the hands of Chubb it goes. Andronico does the roving. So the kick long towards the wing. Flockhart manages to bring the ball to ground. Mantis, El-Hawli, Wallace. Mantis couldn't quite take the mark. He's got a couple to deal with. It'll be a great effort for him to win it, and he can't. But then El-Hawli arrives to provide the pressure on Stubbings, and they do manage to hold it up. Great desperation there by the Northern Bull Ants. Just happy to hold on to the footy, Port Melbourne. Long kick to the wing. Miller brought it down. El-Hawli sweeps around the back. Not the best of hand passes. And there's front on contact again. There's been a lot of those. In Conlon, Gowers. Can he keep it in play? Shrugged one. Shrugged two. Went to the top of the goal square. Big pack to fly. El-Hawli.
Well, Cody Hennis has sucked you in too. He had the finger raised up to the Lord.
El-Hawli brings it away to half back. It goes off hands and out of play.
Pretty crucial, there's no doubt about that. So on the outer side, Hamilton's kick towards centre wing, and a good mark taken by El-Hawli. Between half back and centre wing, transfers play to the middle. The numbers are with the Sharks, outnumbered. Just too many options here. Over the head of Edwards goes the kick. Still Edwards to recover. He's tackled immediately in the end by Andronico, and can't quite get out holding the ball. He's been probably their best player so far.
Yes, I would say so. It's been impressive this year. There's El-Hawli really taking his game to a new level, particularly defensively.
Line turns it straight over to Crosley. Slams it on the boot inside 50, but again, El-Hawli takes the mark. Resolute in defence. Goes out wide.
The Bell Street end, would we call that?
Yeah. Technically speaking, of course, we're just kick to be taken by Hamilton, who goes out wide and Wack takes the mark at left half back.
He actually did really well there to Josh Hamilton, because the kick coming towards him was a poor one.
El-Hawli towards centre wing. It's spoiled away from when they're used to the humidity up there in Queensland by comparison to the cold, wintry weather in Victoria. El-Hawli, good kick in a confined space. Equal connection. One of the good things about the VFL linking to local footy. Here's El-Hawli. Breaks the tackle. He's a strong player, isn't he? Forced the turnover, at least momentarily. Dixon. His kick is going to be chopped off by El-Hawli. Takes a bounce. Briskly breaks through the tackle. Got a dribble kick into the corridor. McKenzie had his head ripped off by Will.
Boyd Woodcock update. He's come off the ground again. He's certainly Woodcock by name, but maybe not by nature.
Bunts the ball out with the hand pass. Here's Mackie. Good hands to El-Hawli. Hurdled around his opponent on that occasion. Comes to Wack, who's wrapped. Here's Mackie. Deep in defence. Kick towards El-Hawli. Flies. Couldn't take the mark. Good strong mark. Take it in the front there. Foot with a chip kick into the corridor. Awkward bounce. King and Gray. King wins out. Gets a hand pass to El-Hawli. Just over the head of Donegan in the end. Will chips it short. Not the best of kicks, however. He was looking for foot. Just went over his head. Donegan off to El-Hawli. Now they got space and time to work with. Jorgensen. Good spoil. And extracting it out is late. Gives it off to Woodcock. He's a miraculous player. Can't quite keep his feet. Whack. Slings it out. El-Hawli gives it off. Now Hamilton.
And with ball in hand, could be up for selection. That's Jacob Dawson.
Good kick to Dixon. Edwards out the back door. Back to Dixon. Gives the fend off on El-Hawli. He's a strong player.
But they're well drilled and well disciplined, this Southport team.
Got to maintain the basics, don't you? Here's El-Hawli. Deep in defence. Kick out wide towards centre wing.
Keep going with what you know, but just try and get better at it.
Well, it's one of those situations where it's unforced as well. It's not left half back. Chips it short to El-Hawli. So a few touches in the last quarter, maybe a few inefficient disposals. He was very good early in the game. Just waiting for an option to run through the corridor here. Just going to bunt it in that direction. In from the side.
Chubb, just outside 50, has El-Hawli. Inside 50 to the lead of Jorgensen. Into the pocket, looking for Jorgensen. Had two to beat in the end. From the tight angle, Jorgensen. Is that going to bounce all the way through? El-Hawli got a little boot on it. And that will be a goal. I think it'll be credited to El-Hawli. Disposal away. Mitchell. Now El-Hawli. Big bruising tackle. Franks got Jorgensen in some space. And pass over the top for El-Hawli. A nice tackle laid, but still the chances there for the Ants. King again, McAndrew and Jorgensen. This time McAndrew won it down, but Sharks nicely by Franks. High kick. Chubb and El-Hawli. El-Hawli takes the mark. Very nicely done from Saad El-Hawli to give the Bull Ants 3 1/4. Beautifully done, and gets the arrow out. Bit of the Xavier Dersmas about it. Going to Ethan Mantis. Goes quickly, gives to El-Hawli. That's not his best work. And McAndrew, just a big thump. Trying to get the ball forward. Edwards went to ground. El-Hawli going backwards. Has to collect his own little soccer. But he did it nicely, Saad El-Hawli. Just let himself down with the hand pass. Stoppage inside 50. Constanti. It bounced in front of him. El-Hawli for the Bull Ants. Ran into his own teammate. Did it well enough to get to Wall. Goes again. Hand pass missed his target, but there should be enough Ants there to work it out. El-Hawli. Wide kick. Wall. Now El-Hawli. Streaming towards 50. Goes the inside out banana. Just wants to put it into space to see if a teammate can get there. Marked on the line by Wallace. Butterworth was one. Back to his feet now, the debutant El-Hawli. Now hack it out of midair. Won't be 15. Franks. El-Hawli. Wide old kick and a dangerous one. Lugsden's. Will Green tried to thump it forward in the direction of Kirk, but didn't get as much of a fist on it as he. El-Hawli. Called to play on. Delicate kick for Franks. It was a nice kick. Franks just. So play on's the call. Donegan. Velasaris. Now El-Hawli. He's had a lot of the footy, El-Hawli, and he's been great. Such a good user, and he'll get it back again, El-Hawli. Not his best kick. Geddes. Tackle laid by Chubb and forces the turnover. Donegan. Combined with Andronico, and now Jorgensen over his head. Franks tackled straight away, managed to get the ball out, and Velasaris. Hand pass for El-Hawli, couldn't get it back to Velasaris, and the Swans forced the turnover. Cleary, back to Morrison. Wanted Mitchell. Had to take on a couple of tacklers, Caleb Mitchell. And that'll be holding the ball. A chance for a late one here for the Bull Ants. El-Hawli. Been their best in this first half. That could have been 50 there with Geddes just holding on to El-Hawli. And there is the siren. That would have been a costly 50-metre penalty. Andrew. El-Hawli. Had plenty of the footy in the first half, El-Hawli. And Bull Ants have got the numbers, but Sydney have them at ground level. Constanti's lurking. The Ants do it well. El-Hawli has a bounce. Mitchell was closing, so he had to kick. Forward 50 now for the Ants. Butterworth got the hand pass out to El-Hawli. Just hooked it back in over his head. Square. Hilton comes away with it. El-Hawli. Green won the hit out. Down to El-Hawli. A couple of early touches in the fourth quarter. The Green brothers. El-Hawli. Up the line. The grass tackle. Gave to Mackenzie. King. El-Hawli. Fairley couldn't get a kick on it. Whack. His kick straight into his teammate. Velasaris got the hand pass away to El-Hawli. El-Hawli was taken high. It'll be a downfield free kick. No, Mackie. As long and straight. El-Hawli leads. Couldn't hold the mark. Franks. El-Hawli's in some space. Got a one-on-one inside 50. Opts to bounce instead of kicking it to him and then works it around the corner. Vickery clears it for Sydney. He'll be coming straight back. That's a nice mark from Saad El-Hawli. Plays on now. Just puts it up to the top of the square. It's all Sydney underneath it. Plays on Mantis. Umset high in the direction of Jorgensen. El-Hawli came from the side.